In New Zealand, we have various tertiary-based courses for our eager young students to attend, but what new students and the public need to differentiate between is the beautician versus the makeup artist role. In general, a full-time 6-month course as a beautician will cover mainly facials, waxing, eye treatments, manicures and pedicures. During a beautician course, makeup is normally only very lightly touched on, normally covering 1 day on evening, 1 day on bridal, and 1 day covering daytime makeup looks. Hardly enough to head out to the big wide world and become an official makeup artist. Even the 2-year full-time beauty therapist course concentrates more on massage, health, nutrition and body evaluation more than makeup artistry would. But in saying that, there is courses available in New Zealand, particularly Welltech's 17-week certificate in fashion and makeup artistry. It's well known to have in-depth makeup lessons. To find out more about how the makeup industry has changed, I went and interviewed Hill Cook, one of New Zealand's top makeup artists, who most recently worked on Lord of the Rings, including Evangeline Lilly's personal makeup artist for the movie The Hobbit. Hill Cook tells her story about how she got started.
So originally I started off as a hairdresser. I actually had no idea I wanted to be a makeup artist. Started off as a hairdresser, and that was purely because my parents couldn't afford to send me to art school, and all I really wanted to do was go to art school. So my mother suggested that perhaps we go for something that's arty like hairdressing, and eventually I'd be able to save to go to art school. I did my hairdressing and I loved that. I loved the side of trichology that you learn at Tech about scalp disorders, and I loved the side of learning wigs. I studied with George Janis, and he used to have a few private clients that had scalp problems. So I would help him out with doing wig templates, etc. I headed to Australia to learn more about trichology and wigs. Hooked up with a company over there doing treatment for people who had male pattern baldness, that needed treatment on dreadful, hideous skin conditions, and made wigs for them, which was pretty cool. And that kind of took me all around the world. When I got to London, I worked for them over there, and when I came home, I would get blue tack and I would stick it all over my arms and try and recreate the wounds that I had seen during the day, and paint them up with my paint box. And my flatmates were quite disgusted by it. And I lived by the West End Theatre, so they were like, well, take your grotty arm over to the backstage door of the theatre and see if someone there can tell you where you can go and do this for a living. So that's what I did. Took my grotty arm over to the backstage door, met a makeup artist who told me about grease paint. And grease paint's a amazing prestigious school in London, and so I went to the open day, and from there I carried on and did every single course possible. I wanted to do prosthetics to start off with, but I couldn't do that till I'd done TV, film, stage, bridal, everything else. I think I was the longest full-time student ever in the end, and then went from there. Because I knew how to do wigs, I ended up tutoring there as well. And then I went on the agency list and started working over there. And eventually I got a phone call from Richard Taylor in my Shepherd's Bush flat and said, would you like to come and work at Weta for Lord of the Rings? And I was kind of like, I didn't know anything about it, but my tutor had sent a recommendation. We did some negotiating, and eventually I kind of said, all right.
I asked Hill Cook what she loved about being a makeup artist.
What I love about my job is that every single morning is different. I do something completely different. You know, like I could be doing roadkill accident tomorrow, or tomorrow I'm doing contact energy portrait faces, and today I'm doing a crazy rip-off of Alexander McQueen, and you know, the day after that it'll be another roadkill and then a bride. And I think just having such a variety, and I'm just so passionate about it. It's all art and it's all beautiful and different in every single way, shape and form, I guess.
Makeup has changed over the years. Hel talks to us about the most significant changes over the decades.
Aesthetics has changed the most, I would say. How things are made, how things blend. When you think back to Frighteners days, Peter Jackson's movies, and you know, they're almost comical, and then you see what he's doing now and the prosthetics that we're banging out on Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. You just can't see a join. You know, at the end of the day, trying to take the prosthetic off, you'll be like, oh gosh, where is the edging? And it's a lot better for the skin, and it moves with the muscles, and there's no join lines. It's just, yeah, it's a whole different league, and so much easier to apply. Less time frame. Yeah, it's just amazing, really. HD has made a huge adjustment to all products once HD came in, which freaked a hell of a lot of makeup artists out. It changed the way of how products had to be applied and what we used, and the products had to just become so much more superior. Yeah, bringing in things like silicone base. Silicone base is probably the most revolutionised stuff, I would say. Primers, just all the kind of things that smooth and make skin look incredible, as opposed to, you know, the 80s, which was an interesting time.
Just like fashion, makeup has seen some pretty bad makeup trends. Hel tells us one of the worst.
Oh, probably 80s makeup, full stop. And the hideous lip liner. Pamela Anderson was a bit of a freak for that one. She had the dark lip line and then the pale pouty lips. It was pretty nasty.
Hel Cook also works on fashion and magazine shoots. We tagged along with Hel Cook's makeup team to a fish head shoot and was able to see how a makeup artist works on location. Hel Cook shares her advice for the new makeup artist.
I would definitely recommend going to a makeup artistry school if she wants to further it as a career, not behind a counter, because it's a completely different type of makeup as opposed to if you're going to do makeup for print or for screen, that sort of thing. Then yeah, definitely makeup school. Having beautician backgrounds really handy because they understand muscles and contour and shading, that kind of thing. But it's a completely different type of makeup that you would use, and different techniques for different lighting, and like, it's not just learning about makeup, it's learning about the camera and the red-based camera or the green-based camera and the lighting, and there's so much more to learn. And I think a lot of them don't realise just how much there is to learn. So I think that, and then also finding a good makeup artist and then just assisting them forever, and then hanging on for dear life, eh, Leigh? Yeah. Ride the coattails.
I asked Hel, why do so many women get their foundation colour wrong? Here's her explanation.
I know that a lot of people that come to us are like, oh my God, you know, I've been to the makeup artist in store, and how it freaks them out because they come back with, like we were talking about, you know, absolutely covered in makeup and wrong shades, and yeah, they find them scary and intimidating.
Yeah. But it's not often the store, well, you know, the person helping them's fault is the lighting. Like, they'll match them perfectly in store, but then it's just wrong because of the lighting's wrong. It's just,
yeah.
So we see that an awful lot, and just probably just bad application and on young beautiful skin, just packing on makeup, which is just wrong. You know, you want skin to look beautiful, beautiful skin, don't you?
Yeah.
You want it to treat the skin more than the...
You want it to glow.
Yeah, you want this to be healthy skin, enhancing that.
I suppose, I mean, the question is then, well, why they're packing it on? What would be the reason somebody would pack it on? Acne scars or
possibly, but I think it's
infections?
also them looking at the shows on TV, like you're saying, like the Geordie Shore and those girls are just caked in makeup, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they're trying to just copy them, I think.
Yeah.
Thinking that is the trend
vibe.
and the beauty, but we like to re-educate, don't we, Helen?
Yes, we do.
Whereas there's so many different types of makeup artists, you know, a makeup artist that might work in print or film will be really, really pulled back and more natural. And so, yeah, I think the public perception is dependent on what the makeup artist we're talking about.
Yeah.
There's not always work available for a makeup artist. Hill talks about what she does during the lulls in the market.
There was a big lull for a long time, which is where we started developing products, because it's that whole, you know, if you want to stay in the industry, you need to think outside the square. And so, yeah, I mean, our team's pretty lucky. We're always busy and we're always working, but there are a lot of people who just couldn't survive in the industry. So yeah, and in those quieter times we worked on developing products and techniques and iPhone apps and all those kind of things. Yeah. But there was a lull. What happened was, I think we did Water Horse, and I think soon after that, King Kong, and soon after that we were booked on, I can't think what it was a Bible one. And it was going to be a big job in Wellington and most people were booked on it.
Oh, Kingdom.
Kingdom Come, and it folded, and that just totally ruined a lot of people. And that was kind of my time to start thinking, okay, well, I'm not leaving this industry, so what am I going to do, kind of thing.
Thanks for watching another part of the Changing Beauty documentary. Subscribe to Galaxy Dreaming to watch more Changing Beauty updates as they're released. If you haven't already, check out the Changing Beauty playlist and watch past episodes already released.